Changes Through the Ages is a series of videos about the history of Ukrainian words and their relationship with similar words in other languages. Today we are looking at Voda, water, in Ukrainian. So today's Ukrainian Voda is closely related to the same word in other Slavic languages. We have the present time Russian Voda, Belarusian Voda, Polish Voda, Czech Voda, Bulgarian Voda, Serbian Voda, and Croatian Voda. If we go back in time 1000 years before the present time, in 1000 CE, we would be able to hear Old East Slavic Voda, which can also be pronounced with the English W at the beginning, Voda, and Old Church Slavonic, same word, Voda. But let's go into more distant times. In 500 CE, we would be able to hear the Proto-Slavic language, which is the origin of all today's Slavic languages, and water in Proto-Slavic sounded as Voda. Actually, this is the later version of Proto-Slavic, because Proto-Slavic had also an earlier stage of the language, also called Proto-Slavic or early Proto-Slavic. We would be able to hear it in approximately 500 BCE in the same area, and water in earlier Proto-Slavic was Voda, because earlier Proto-Slavic didn't have the sound O. There were only short A or long A. Voda. We know that the Proto-Slavic language developed from Proto-Balto-Slavic, which was the language common for today's Slavs and Baltic people. That's why the earlier version of Voda in approximately 1000 BCE was Vodor or Wandor in the nominative case and Wundnes in the genitive case. Today's Baltic words, specifically Lithuanian and Latvian words, also come from this word. Lithuanian Vanduo, Latvian Udens, and Prussian Wundan. As we can see, the nominative Vandor developed into the Lithuanian Vanduo, and the genitive Wundnes developed into Latvian Udens and Prussian Wundan. If we go west from the Baltic Sea, in the other part of Northern Europe, we would be able to hear the Proto-Germanic language at approximately 700 BCE. As we know, Proto-Germanic was the mother tongue for today's English, German, Dutch, and Scandinavian languages. So if we went to that time, we would be able to hear the Proto-Germanic word for water, which was something like Vator in the nominative case and Vatinis in the genitive case. We can clearly see that the nominative case was the origin for today's English water, Dutch water, and German Wasser, whilst the genitive Vatinis is the origin for Icelandic vatten, Norwegian vann, Swedish vatten, and Danish van. And now let's go south. In 800 BCE, the Italian peninsula spoke Latin. Latin also has a word that has the same root as the English water and Ukrainian voda. This word is unda, which means a wave, but it's still the same root from the earlier Latin udna, where the sounds d and n switch their places. Alright, the Romans, who spoke the Latin language, also had Eastern neighbors, in particular Greeks. So if we take the period 900 years BCE, the Greeks also had a word that had the same root, hudor, meaning exactly water. And other neighbors even further east in more distant times, let's say in 1500 BCE, in the land that's now Turkey, Hittites had their empire. They also spoke an Indo-European language. Hittite was the name of it, and they had a similar word for water, and you would be surprised how similar it is to the English word. This is how it was written, Hittite, word for water. These characters are called cuneiform, and this sounded as water in the nominative case and witenash in the genitive case. So you see how close this is to what we saw in Proto-Germanic, wator, watin is? Yeah, there you go. And now let's go even further east. And let's dig even deeper in the time. 2000 BCE. This land is called India now. In those distant times, people spoke a language that is now known as Sanskrit. Sanskrit has several words for water, but we're specifically interested in only one of them, udan, having the same root as all previous words that we have seen. But what was the basis for all of those words? Let's dig even more and go into even more ancient times, 3000 BCE, not enough. 4000 BCE, yes. In that distant epoch, the steppes that are above the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea, which is now Ukraine and southern Russia, were populated by ancient Indo-European tribes. Their word for water was wodr in the nominative case, wedens in the genitive case, and wedor in plural nominative. So this Proto-Indo-European word, this is the very word that is the basis for the entire range of water words in today's Indo-European languages. Here we go. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you want to ask me a question, you're always welcome to write it below in the comments section. Bye for now and have a wonderful day. Changes through the ages.